Good morning, Darren.
Good morning.
These are exciting times. We've got people enjoying the film. We've got the gang all together, and you have a top comedic talent who's assuming the role of leading these people on a journey to what could be their ultimate demise. The Saw universe spiral, it's known for these horrific, interesting, intricate death scenes. What are the anatomy of crafting those, and how does something not make it to the final cut? No pun intended.
It is a process which I don't think a lot of people understand how long, boring, and arduous it really is. We basically start with what the idea is. So you look at a character. So you're like, okay, this character lied on the stand, and so his trap has to revolve around a mouth. And we're like, okay, how can we do something visually interesting? And we'll throw out tons of ideas, and then we test the ideas on mannequins, on things to say, would this idea actually work? And sometimes we have great ideas, and then we try them and they don't work. They don't work the way we say they do. So once they go through this huge process, we build them, and then we look at them, and does it look good? Does it look scary? And they take a long time. Each one of the traps, take us weeks and weeks and weeks of testing and figuring out. And the cool thing is, not a lot of people know, all the traps that we show, all these torture devices, they work the way they say they work, meaning that we never take the creative liberty of, pretending. We actually make them do what they say they do. And I think that's why they're so horrific when you actually see them in the final movie.
It's amazing. I mean, that's always been an amazing, intricate part of just even the psychology that attaches these traps to these characters and their demise. Chris Rock stepping into this is fantastic. Although he's on the comedics, he comes from comedy. Comedy and tragedy are pretty are close cousins,
Yeah.
just in a sense. Bringing him into this franchise, what energy did he inject to make this new
Well,
part of the universe even that great to mix in
yeah.
with the others?
I mean, well, I'll tell you this. So I grew up listening to his comedy. I grew up watching his movies. And he's, in my opinion, one of the greatest living comedians of our time. And I think that when you bring someone like Chris Rock in, he's got a unique voice. He's got a way he looks at the world. And I think that having him on set changed the way that we all kind of approach scenes. And I loved as well, though, he would like do a scene, a dramatic scene. And he would think about it and be like, no, it's too serious. I got to do it again. And he would do it again and add one small joke, just one small thing. And it would change the entire context of the scene. So it was surreal. Every day going to set, working with him was just a surreal experience. I'll give you a quick funny story. I told my wife, I was like, you're never going to believe this. Chris Rock is in the new Saw movie. And she had the exact same reaction I did. Chris who? Because she would never assume in a million years that Chris Rock would do a Saw film. And so I'm literally geeking out and excited. And I put on Tambourine, which is one of his Netflix specials. And we're watching Tambourine. And she kept saying, there's no way he's doing this. And my phone was on a coffee table facing up. And as we're watching Tambourine, my phone rings and it's Chris Rock. And so I put him on speakerphone. And it was the most meta moment of my film career because he's paused on TV and he's on my phone, and my wife's jaw just drops. And it felt like that every day. It never felt real that we were actually making this movie with this cast.
Mhm. And lastly, getting together the gang to bring forth new product, new content, and expanding this universe. What was that first day like, or first meeting, or talking to each other, being back together as a unit?
It was crazy. I mean, I saw 2, 3, and 4, and then I took a 14-year hiatus, doing other projects, starting a family. I remember stepping onto the soundstage for the first time in Toronto, which was the same soundstage I made Saw 2 and 3 and 4. It didn't feel real. And I remember looking at my wall where we had all the cast pictures, and I see Samuel L. Jackson, Chris Rock, Max Minghella, Maricel. I was just like, what is this? How is it that I went from making this movie in Saw 2 when I was 24 years old to now as a 42-year-old guy working with these people? It was an amazing feeling. And even now I just pinch myself and be like, how is this real? How am I working with this guy? It's amazing.
Serendipitous. These have always been such favorite movies of mine. I love the genre, love horror, and it is a pleasure. And I enjoyed the movie greatly. Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
so much. I appreciate it.
Take care.